Hello and welcome back. We are the Full-Time Ultras. I'm Aditya and today we've mixed it up a bit. Firstly, to my right, I've got Rohit. Welcome back. Second time on the pod. How are you?
It's nice. It's nice. It was great having the first session as well. We had fun. It was a great debate as well. It's nice to come by.
Probably going to be an even bigger debate today. Next, we've got one of our regulars, Shahan. And next to him, we've got our debutant, Devi or Dev.
Or Dave, yes.
Whichever you would like. How are you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing good. It's good to be here finally after so many attempts.
Yeah.
I mean, wrongful on my part, but good to be here.
I don't know how are you doing good, but yeah.
How are you doing? Good. But yeah, lots to get into.
Yeah, lots to get into. Obviously, it was a very action-packed weekend of Premier League action. But obviously, one place to start. And that's the Manchester derby. And since we have two United fans over here, I'll just start with you guys. What did you make of United's approach in this game against City, Shan?
I think it was what we thought it would be. Like, based on the personnel that Ten Hag had, with so many injuries and with also the defensive situation was happening, that was pretty much expected because we did that at Anfield as well with a similar situation. I was surprised that we were able to do it effectively, I think, till 60 minutes. But I felt at halftime that there's in no way we are going to do it for 90 minutes. I messaged on the group and I said as well that I don't think we have the players, especially in the defense, to kind of get the ball away from, like to comfortably get the ball away and build play up. So I knew it was going to come, and then it eventually came from an area where I felt we were suspect, was Victor Lindelof at left back. A defender playing at left back, not able to charge down Phil Foden. And it resulted in City getting back into the game. But all in all, it was expected. I was happy with the performance until 70 minutes because I think we did what we had to do pretty well. But then in the end, it was an expected City result. So, yeah.
What about you, DB? How did the game, did it play out how you expected it to be played out?
I mean, I was pretty surprised and happy in the first half. Like the way we approached the game, this is how I would expect this team to approach this game. And against City, I think this is what you have to do because they are too good on the ball. And you have to counter, and we don't have players who are going to hold the ball against a team like City. And on the contrary, I think I wouldn't say that we couldn't have held it for 90. I actually thought that we would, and we might as well get another goal out of the counters that we were getting. But then it's wrong to put the blame on that one foul, which I think was a foul on Rashford. But that sort of dismantled our positioning, dismantled our shape, in my opinion, because all the players were busy whining, which is wrong. But I think it was a fair shout. So that changed the game, and then the morale. I mean, these players don't have, they lack a bit of character. So I expected them to go downhill once we concede. So that was the problem. Otherwise, I thought we would actually be able to successfully hold them to at least a draw, if not a win.
Yeah, I mean, that's our first kind of debate. Also, as you mentioned, the Rashford thing, if he had not gone down, he would probably have been in that area where Foden cut into.
Correct.
If he had got back into shape.
Correct.
You think it was a foul? Did you think that was a foul?
I think it was 50-50. I would agree with DV. I would actually go on this. I think it was a foul, but I'd still count it as a 50-50. It might go either ways, and it went against United. But yeah, I think it should have been a foul. A bit more inclining towards that. Yeah, because of the momentum as he's running, and obviously when you're running that fast, there was
there was contact.
Even a small contact would. But if Rashford would have put up to that, and still, I should think could have continued. Then the referee thought it was deliberate from Rashford to go down, but yeah.
Yeah, it looked like he went down a bit softly. Even I felt like...
I mean, there was contact with the hand and the legs. Like, he was tripped.
I
don't
did
know if
not
you
see
could-
the contact with the leg
if you
actually.
could notice it properly, but in real time, I thought there was, and there have been situations when even we play that this happens,
Yeah.
and that is a very high intensity game. I think we should have at least gone back and checked the foul. I don't think they gave it a hard look as to what they would if this was United in that place. Controversial opinion, but I think we all know it.
I agree. If it would have been against City or Liverpool, the case would have been different. They would have gone to the upstairs for that.
Correct.
But being Chelsea and United, we don't have that luck nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for you to add your team in that, but I mean,
Like
Okay.
exactly
It's-
what they've said. Just reverse the role, right? If it's Doku over there,
Yeah.
and if Dalot does that to Doku, that's definitely going and being checked.
first
And
of all, I think
for
the
sure.
referee is giving it, and then they're going to check it and then reassure that that's a foul.
And then the biggest issue for me is always been that the amount of buys that City get in situations like this. I think the referees, we saw it last year as well, they are too scared to take decisions that would influence a title run. I think they're really worried because if you look at that situation, if that foul was near the half line, the referee definitely gives that as a foul, right? Because then he doesn't need to go into the area where you're thinking whether this is a yellow card or a red card, right? So the risk is not that much. But just because he's higher up the field, the referee is thinking that, oh, this is risky territory, so I might not try to get involved. The shocking decision is that VR doesn't intervene. I don't know why it doesn't intervene, because maybe the referee hasn't seen it as a foul. Why I got more angry is, I think 2 or 3 minutes after that, Ake was fouled over there.
Correct.
And that was like the same territory of contact, right?
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
yeah,
referee
yeah.
and the referee gives it.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
would
like,
say that was more shoulder to shoulder more than any, like, I mean, I couldn't see how that was a foul.
Yeah, I think there was a replay going on as well. Like it cut to Ake kind of being shouldered off, and
I
like
mean, he couldn't get
that did not look like a
Yeah,
foul to me
yeah.
either, to be honest.
so basically when I look at the foul, I think for me it is a foul. Number one, you know why? Because someone running at that pace and Walker comes in from behind. So all our eyes have gone on to the tug on top. But actually, if you see the video, like there are some clips, he touches his leg, their legs collide. So when we look at penalties that have been given to so many teams and we say that this is a soft penalty,
yeah.
right? Like I'd go Jota, and we've got it as well. We've got some. Bruno has got one against in the FA Cup, and then Pedro Neto was also given one against us at Wolves, right? All of us have got it. So just I feel that foul was not given because it would have had a big impact on the title race, because maybe they would have to send Walker off. It would have come into that category and then controversy. So I just think that they wanted to avoid controversy. That's why they haven't given the foul.
Was it inside the D-line?
No, it's just outside the box.
last man.
I think that is why VR didn't interfere. I think
No.
VR
VR
interference
has
would
to
have been
interfere
if it's a clear red.
No, it's
But
also
since-
checked in like the foul leading up to a goal kind of situation. So
Correct. And it was,
yeah, it was
essentially a
directly
red
before
card.
the goal.
yeah.
I think
The last one.
for me it was if it was a foul, it should have been given by the referee itself.
Yeah.
VAR interference, I think, would have not been there because I think normally if it's a red card decision, they come into play, or else they don't. So
Because for me, I think VR doesn't intervene because it's not that clear and obvious.
Yeah, that was what I was going to get to. Is that
So
a clear
it
and
has to be
obvious
a clear
error?
and obvious error. Yeah.
So that's
Once
why
the ref hasn't given it, is it a clear and obvious error? That's
I
the
mean,
next
the
question.
influence is from the referee more than the VR.
Yeah.
Like,
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though if VR thinks it is a foul or a penalty, he again tells the referee to check it on the screen. They don't give the
Correct.
decision directly. That is how they've put the importance on the referee on the pitch. So it's fair, but sometimes most of the times, at least in the Premier League, it has been very controversial.
Yeah, it has, especially because there is a trend which I've been seeing. This is that referees are too scared to take that decision where it will be like
Very much agreed, and even though it's controversial, but Liverpool getting the benefit of doubt almost always when it comes to VAR is just surprising. Like how first time when I think the offside goal which was checked,
The
by
Spurs one,
I think the Spurs one only, which
which was incorrectly ruled out.
Incorrectly ruled out.
Against Spurs.
first
The
time
big
a recording
controversy.
was taken out from VAR and then it was published publicly.
Properly to show against
To show,
Liverpool,
because it was Liverpool that was
Yeah.
involved, and
Yes.
Liverpool had put so much pressure. Ki how can this happen?
I mean,
If
to be
there-
fair,
I don't think if there was any other club, that pressure would have gone
no,
to them.
because I think that was a bit of an actually, the Arsenal one's a bit similar, but
exactly. Arsenal have had 2 wrongdoings against them, and it had never
No,
come
no,
like
no. Yeah.
that much pressure was never put, and considerably at that time Arsenal were in a title race. The Brentford one.
yeah, where
that
the
happened.
offside lines weren't drawn.
That didn't happen to them as
And
well.
I think Liverpool played the next game with us, with Chelsea only, and the decisions the VAR was taking, they were literally taking 4 to 5 minutes for one offside call, or they were so scared.
Yeah, they were compensating basically.
Yeah, exactly.
The game you're talking about is Spurs versus us, where they took like 4-5 minutes.
Spurs versus us.
Anyway, we'll get to Liverpool in a bit. Bringing it back to the derby. I mean, the United approach, I guess you all expected it, and
Yeah.
it's somewhat how we played them as well,
Yeah.
because we're not quite up to that level with
Correct.
City at the
I
moment.
think, but I think Chelsea is the only team in 2024 to get points out of City.
yeah,
Really?
and that was
Yeah.
a good.
That was a really good
That was a
performance,
great
yeah.
game.
That was a
great
good
game.
game
That's
as
what I
well, yeah.
expected to happen with our game as well. The approach was
It was
pretty
going
similar.
down the same lane as
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
but
I think we got a bit we also did get a bit lucky with the Haaland missing a few chances. Of
And-
course, we should have taken a few chances ourselves.
and Disasi turning into peak John Terry.
that's also true.
Is-
Maldini, I would say. Prime
you
Maldini.
could say that,
like,
yeah, like directly from
From distribution to
Exact-
like sweeping up and control everything.
yeah,
That's
and,
like-
and then he's back to being a disaster again. Last 2-3 games, errors are. What happened in that game?
That's what Chelsea is now. We'll get into Chelsea.
We'll
as
get
well
into
later.
Chelsea in a bit. I want to bring it to City actually. We've seen this kind of, every year you have this, our City crumbling. Will they win the title? And then they go on this like run. And it seems like they're on that run again. Would you agree, or do you
I
think?
would completely agree. We had a discussion last time.
Yeah.
And I think that was the time when City did not win 5 games on a trot.
Yeah.
3 losses and 2 draws, something like that. And me and Aditya were very confident that this is just a part of the process, and City are running away with the title easily. And that has come. Now we are seeing that. Okay, Pool are still doing well. Arsenal are still doing well. But it is City for the title without a doubt, I feel. The next 3 games are very crucial for City.
Back to back.
If
top
they win
games,
the
yeah.
next 3 games, it's done.
It's done.
It's
yeah.
done.
I
Do you
agree?
agree?
As well.
I think it's very tight this time. I mean, it's much
It
different
is.
to how
Yeah.
it was last season, because there were only 2 contenders last
Yeah.
season. Now there's Liverpool and Arsenal. And Arsenal are like on the run, and I don't think they are going to be stopped anytime soon. And I would hope that they win. For my mental stability, I would hope that Arsenal wins, not City or Liverpool.
It is going to be tough, but it is going to be tough between Pool and City. Arsenal is not going to come close. I can put that into writing. They are having a good run, but soon Arsenal gonna be back to being Arsenal.
No, just on the topic of City, actually I'll come to you about this one as well, because you think of De Bruyne and Haaland, who kind of changed games for them, but De Bruyne wasn't the most effective. And Haaland, my God, how has he missed from under the crossbar? No one will understand. But the guy who did step up for them, Phil Foden, what do you think of his season so far, especially how he was performing in the absence of De Bruyne and Haaland, and how he's become like a bit more of a sideshow once De Bruyne has come back? For him to step up in such a game, what do you make of?
I think with De Bruyne or without De Bruyne, Foden's been City's best player this season. Like hands down, he's been their best player. In terms, he's changed his game a little bit. He's brought a little bit more control to his game, is what I see. Because earlier on, Foden was someone who would make a decision very quick. So he's brought a little bit of a control where he's bringing his influence more on the game. So you look at the basic one touches. You look at him keeping the ball rolling, right? Whether he's playing centrally or whether he's playing out wide. So earlier on, we had that a little bit of a void where we thought that City have let Mahrez go, right? And Mahrez was that one player who was so crucial, especially in big games. And then we thought maybe City are missing someone like that. When before De Bruyne coming in, Foden was playing centrally, right? And he was enjoying there as well. Then we thought when De Bruyne would come back, Foden would go out wide and then he would be less effective. But he is in fact more effective out wide. And the goal that he scores is like, of course, I think Lindelof should do better there. A normal left back, like a left back with pace, who's more experienced playing, a left footer playing there, would close him down better. And I think if Lindelof closes him down better, he gets a block. But take nothing away from the finish. That was a really, really, really good finish. And then the second goal also is, I think, we could have done better in terms of cutting that pass through, because City played, I think they get that move done very, very easily. So take nothing away from the quality of the player he is. I think he's had his downs earlier on in his career, right? Because we look at someone we had in our team, we look at Greenwood, right? They were both involved in that England incident, right? And then from that incident, there's both players' trajectories are different, right?
And there's a lot of maturity in one player and the other player is just...
Exactly. And that also stems to the fact that the environment in both clubs is different. It shows that Foden is in a much better environment in terms of players, setup, with them winning things, right? And then Greenwood is comparatively not in that good an environment with whatever's going on behind the scenes at United. So that has helped him, and he's got a great future ahead. It pains to say, but really, really good performance from him.
I think a good shout for POTS as well.
Player of the season.
Good shout.
It's a good shout. You have
young player. No, does he come in the young player category?
I think so. No,
he does.
He's what, 20?
He's 21.
I think he's 21.
Yeah. So then
he should be.
Yeah, maybe yes.
Do you think England should build around him in the Euro?
I think they should, but I still think, as Shan discussed, like even though after De Bruyne coming back and him moving to the right, I still think his best position is centrally. His distribution is really good. I still think he should play there. I know they don't have a player to fill the void. I think the way he, the close touches, the close control of the ball helps against some teams when it comes to the right wing. But still, Foden's best role is still centrally, and the ball distribution, what he does centrally, is just immense, too good. And I think England has on paper one of the best teams to go into the Euros.
Like always.
But does Will Southgate play him? That's the thing. Because Henderson is back now.
Henderson is back.
I
hope Southgate was clearly watching the game. There was a clear signal from Foden as well. See this guy who's playing and making a mark. I think Foden should start. If not,
definitely.
If not, I have been a big advocate of Gareth Southgate until now. But that would be a big setback for Gareth Southgate. He doesn't start.
And especially like the 10, as a 10. He has to play as a 10.
Yes, exactly.
Going from one academy graduate to another, I want your thoughts on this. Rashford, in the middle of the week, he had a big Players Tribune article about, don't doubt my commitment to the club. And the goal he scored is absolutely fantastic.
Out of nowhere. Nobody expected it.
No one saw that coming. No one saw that start coming either from United. But more specifically on Rashford, what do you make of him? Because we've had a lot of thoughts about how his body language is off during games. How he doesn't work as hard out of possession.
Correct.
So what have you made of him? And do you think, this is the start of a redemption arc for him?
I mean, it's too soon to say that it's going to be a redemption arc because the season has been that bad for him. And I totally believe when he says that you shouldn't be doubting his commitment towards the club because he is 100% in and out Manchester United. But then how long are we going to wait? Because this can't keep happening again and again. Like one season is good, One season is great and one season is absolutely bad. Like, you don't have anything to show for it. So I think he needs to like buckle up and just put his money where his mouth is. Like, you need to just show us instead of just commenting about it. It's sort of unfair on his part because he gets a lot of scrutiny. But this season, I would agree with anybody who scrutinizes him, because we are also now starting to get fed up and building the team around him. It's starting to look like whether it's going to be possible or that might be a mistake. Build a team around, let's say, Garnacho, Menu and Højlund. And Rashford is, I wouldn't consider him to be like the pillar of the team right now. So I don't know what to make of it, but I'm in for him to get another chance, or then just sell him for good money. But that's probably too soon to say.
Shan, you've been a bit vocal about this in our recent episodes.
I think the club's environment is affecting, but I am not able to see Rashford stepping up all the time. Like, okay, the team is down sometimes. I don't see the attitude from him. Like, when the team is down and he's giving his all, the run backs, the falling back and all. When I see the team down, I see his head down as well.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing for me. Like,
because because as DV said, building a team around him, and that should have been the case because he is that good of a player. But why is that not happening? And for that, a player's attitude matters. And the ups and downs is a bit worrying for me.
He's been
He's
very
a great player, but the ups
inconsistent,
and downs, and that is the big one.
Very
of the big
inconsistent.
problems.
Yeah, he has been.
I think Rashford has suffered over his careers because of the United management as well.
Yeah.
In terms of the managers he's played under, because he's got his break under Van Gaal. He's played under Mourinho, which was very pragmatic football. Then he had some of his okay spells under Solskjaer, which was like a complete opposite of football of what Mourinho was playing, like complete counter-attack. And then he goes and he plays under Erik Ten Hag in the first season, and then that's not the football normally Ten Hag plays, is because Ten Hag has just adopted the same counter-attacking football is because of the players he's had.
Yeah,
And-
availability.
And then Rashford goes and has his best season in a United shirt. And then it's a loop. It's back to where we were. So for me, my only criticism is that when you get a new contract and when you're United's top earner, right, you cannot say that, don't scrutinize me, because when you're parting out, at 3:34 in the morning, and then you're missing training the next day, and then you've not even clarified with the manager that it needed for an athletic journalist to come out and say that no, he was not partying one day prior, he was partying one day. So you basically lied to the club, right? So why the hell will the fans not scrutinize you when you're the top earner of the club?
Yeah.
Like players, like that's what I say, that it's the environment. What will players like Garnacho and Menu look at Rashford and they'll be like, yeah, if Rashford can get away with this, maybe we can get away with that as well. So I am not having any of this, because I am at a stage where I cannot see my club, like I need to see change and I need to see tough decisions being taken. I feel every player, whether it's Rashford or whether it's Bruno, has to be judged equally. Like for me, no one should be like, whether you're from the academy or whether you've come up from age 8, whether everyone has to have a fresh start and no one should be barred from exception, and that includes Rashford.
I think a similar, I wouldn't say the arc, but thing is happening with Sterling at Chelsea as well. Being the highest earner and still no one can look up to him. Look at his performances. Like one game he's doing amazingly well, and another 2 to 3 games he's dead on the pitch. Literally no run backs, nothing. And being the most, we lack experience at this point of time, and people should look up to him. And if they look, they see nothing. Sterling is like, he's a completely opposites in every game. And that the inconsistency is saying a lot. He would be the first player I think who would move out this summer.
We'll get to Chelsea in just a bit. But before we move on to that, you spoke of tough decisions and changes and management. Obviously, there's a lot of scrutiny on Erik Ten Hag as the manager right now. I mean, like it seemed like he'd bought some time in the media's eyes at least with a run of good results. But now all of a sudden with the Fulham game, with this one, it seems like the pressure's back on. Do you think he's the right man? I'll start with you, Dev. Do you think he's the right man to lead United forward? And like, okay, let's start with that. Do you think he's the right man?
I mean, yeah, for me he is 100%.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure of that. At least for now. At least for, if not this season, one more season. I would give him time because the rut that we are in right now is a result of a lot of years of mess. It's not just going to clear up like that. And the players that we have, they lack character. We are clear about that. I mean, except for a few players, I don't think the players are giving their all to the manager. And I agreed to some extent that the Fulham game, I would probably scrutinize him. I don't agree with a lot of decisions that he made in that game. But the City game, it was 50-50 for every decision that he made. I wouldn't scrutinize him based on the City game. So I think we need to give him time. We need to at least see out this season and then see how we start or first of the next season and then take a call whether he's the right man. But for me, I think he's the right man. After Mourinho, this is the manager that I would like in my club.
Okay, Shan. Yeah, like just is he the right man to lead you forward?
See, I'll quickly answer this thing in two ways.
Yeah.
One is what I would want, and one is what I think would happen, right? So I would second with Dave, and I would say that I think he deserves to get another year, right? Because considering what he's had to deal with this season as well, with the takeover, like I've kept saying, everything happening, the unsurety of what's going to happen, whether it's going to be the Qataris or whether it's going to be Jim Ratcliffe, right? My only thing is that if you sack Ten Hag, who do you get? Like, who's available in the market to get into this United squad right now? Do you get Tuchel? I wouldn't get Tuchel after what he's suffered at Bayern and everything like that. Do you get De Zerbi? Brighton are in a mess right now, and he's not able to salvage that season, right? And is De Zerbi a better manager than what Ten Hag was when he was at Ajax? I don't think so,
No.
right? And who else is there? Nagelsmann's there, right? He's one of them. If Ten Hag was to go, that would be my choice. Like, I wouldn't be happy with it, but I think he's the best option out there, right? But I wouldn't want to see him be judged on this season, right? Because the amount of injuries that he's had is absolutely crazy. The team last season, where we overachieved last season, a third place finished and a trophy and a cup final as well, right? And that whole team was based on that defense, right? Which he was easily able to sustain over that whole period. If you look at this season, he's had 28 defensive pairings, right, amongst that back four, it's not stable. Liverpool suffered that as well last season. They finished fifth. They couldn't get Champions League because they were dealing with a season where they went into all cup competitions late, and they had a barrage of injuries as well, right? So I want to see him under a proper structure with which Ineos is hopefully putting through. And then I want to judge him. So he has another year left on his contract. Let's see how it is till November. And then let's go ahead and then either give him a contract or let him go. What I think is going to happen is when you have new owners coming in, right? They basically want to get their own man in. When you are completely doing an overhaul, right, from your CEO to your director of football to the head of recruitment, I don't see them not making a change. I would be very surprised if Ten Hag was in charge next year, because they're going to take input from everyone. They're going to take input from the CEO. They're going to take input from the director of football. And when you look at the Jim Ratcliffe interview, he's not. It could have been very easy for Jim Ratcliffe to be like, "Yeah, we're going to back Ten Hag," but he's not backed him. He's left it very ambiguous when he's asked. So he says that it's not about the manager, it's about the environment around the manager. So that is left very ambiguous, right? it would have been very easy for if Ten Hag was going to be there next season. It could have been easy. Ratcliffe could have said, "This is the manager we want. We've seen that there were past wrongdoings which happened. We think he's a very good manager. We're going to build ahead with him." So that's one of the reasons where I think that they will go in a different direction. They cannot come out and put out a statement now saying that we can't. We are going to sack him because there are still things to play for. Maybe fifth place will get you Champions League as well. So I think it's a tricky situation. I think he would be gone by the end of the season. I would be very surprised if he's there. Would I want him to stay in charge? Yes, I think he deserves another season.
Before the end of the season or at the end of the season?
What?
If he gets sacked, he gets sacked before the end of the season.
Before the end?
No, he won't. No, he won't leave. So they will announce it after everything is gone, like we always do. And I think it will be mutual. He will see out this season. They won't get in an interim, definitely. But
then the Ratcliffe thing that you're talking about, I think he just left it like that because he didn't want to just come out and say that we are backing the manager because of all the mess. So somebody who's just taken over a club, he always wants to have his options open.
Yeah.
But I think that's more of like a positive for me because I think he's one of those owners who are going to look at the best interests of the club and not because he's just come in, he wants to make changes.
Yeah.
So I think Ten Hag might just stay next season, and I would, of course, I back him that I would like him to be the next season.
I think what has happened with Ten Hag is he's had some bad patch of runs, but then again he comes back again with good 3-4 matches of good run as well. That is saving him, I think, because last time also when that performance against Chelsea, before that he was in a mess, and he came up with that performance, and people were like, that was one of the best. I think that is the best match United played this season.
The irony was like he made a statement saying that judge me when I get my best players back, and then he got his best players back for two game weeks, and then again his best players went out. Then it's a very, very tricky situation.
My point being, if he loses, I think next game is against Everton and another loss, 2 losses, it's done.
I think
very
they'll
much
make
done.
a decision.
I think I'm honestly saying if even an Everton loss will do it, in my opinion, right now what I'm feeling, an Everton loss also would be enough for Ten Hag sacking.
I'm in disagreement to this because I think it's too. I mean, not to be harsh,
I'm pretty
but
sure
it's
2 losses. I can bet anything on this. 2 losses and Ten Hag is off.
It's too stupid to make that decision. First of all, if the board
it is
makes
stupid. I'm agreeing, but I think it is what is
because
going to happen.
I think what will happen is that 2 losses would not get you in a would completely take off your Champions League hopes.
I think
that's true, still. But look at the injuries. I mean, how are you discounting all that? I mean, any manager coming in for this guy, nobody's going to. Do you think Pep is going to do well with this team?
I don't think the board works that way.
Yeah,
I mean, what logic? What else do you use?
We would every time we as being fans, we talk sense to the board. Like for example,
your board is different gravy. Like I mean,
no, but very honestly, it creates a lot of pressure on the owners as well. The next 2 losses would be, I think, humongous. That would be easily Ten Hag's departure after the next one. For in my opinion, Everton loss also would do enough, but 2 losses on a safe side, I'm saying.
But the question is, where are we going from there? I mean, what is the SAG going to do for us? Like, it's not like we're going to get Champions League anyway.
Yeah, that's what I said. I basically structured it into 2 halves. For me, it was like one was like
what should happen
and what will happen. You know, so basically that is a little bit of a tricky situation because again you start from zero.
If United had a clear person in mind to take charge, it would have been very easy.
Because now you're aligning a structure. So if Dan Ashworth and if Berardi says that we found a person who's better inclined with how we want to see our team move forward,
how the players profiles fit with the manager as well. But that I also cannot see. Like for example, we'll get back to that again, but with Chelsea I could see De Zerbi fitting exactly to this team, which will make the switch easy. But for United I can't see that. Maybe if they can cop Nagelsmann, that would be the best thing they could do. I think he has a lot of potential.
Let's get to Chelsea. You spoke of new owners coming in and tearing the house down. Look no further than us, I guess. We'll get to Poch and his situation in a minute, but just the Brentford game. What happened in that second half? Just
It was very clear. I think I do not blame Poch for even a second over there. The only thing I blame him sometimes is with the substitutions. He's pretty bad when it comes to substitutions. I think brain dead right now, I would say. It has been that bad. Him coming up, I think, in the finals as well, saying players said we are tired, they want to go for penalties, and then him making a defensive change. And we conceded from a set piece at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And then the directors are looking for specialists
set
the
piece
next
specialist.
minute
Yeah.
to combat that.
Hello, Brighton.
Is apparently it's Brentford this time that
Yeah.
we're looking at. Yeah.
So the question you were asking is first this was the first time Pochettino started with a back three,
Yeah.
and I loved that. The first half was immense. I even said ki whatever happens in the second half, even we lose 3-1, 4, I want this shape to be there for the next game as well. And that happened. I think players were tired. Our injury list is as bad as
Yes.
as United's, and in fact our best players are not on the pitch. And in the second half, the players being tired, to be played I think 2 or 3 days before only.
Yeah.
And at Brentford at home, the
It's a tough
intensity
game.
was just too much in the second half from them, and it was too much. The players, even with three at the back and two wingers supporting that, it was not happening at all. We have short wingers as well, so
Yeah.
even I think Reguan got a shot,
Region got a header off
got a
Gusto,
header
yeah.
which was deflected by the post, and that was
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
switched off the TV after that because I thought it is going to
Done.
kill the game.
Yeah.
I switched on after I think 80th minute, and I saw Palmer creating something magical and Disasi at the end of it. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
this could have gone. This could have been a 3-1 as well, but fortunately you were able to salvage. But the first half performance was very dominant. If you just see the stats,
Yeah, I did.
amazing. But the players' tiredness came into play,
Yep.
and I wouldn't blame Poch for that because he doesn't have the backing.
Yep.
He gets on Mudryk, but Mudryk is not having the season. He has a amazing player. He got him in the center as well, but he's not able to still get his game back because a lot of pressure also on him. I think first of all the price tag which people are putting 100 million, it's not 100 million. It's all add-ons and all included. It comes to 90. It's actually 62 million.
We know the
And
feeling.
also the fact that he didn't want to play for Chelsea. Which we
Yeah.
should not discount.
I think he even cried when he
Yeah,
did not get the move. People,
to
but
Arsenal, yeah.
he was like Chelsea were willing to pay the price, and they were there when he wanted to make the move, and that's why he's okay. He's happy being here as well. But it's not going good for him. But coming back to a question, I am not blaming Poch at all, and I am glad the owners and the directors and everyone is seeing this. They are seeing we are getting the chance. Under Potter, what happened is we were not even creating the chances. The chances weren't there. But under Poch, the finishing is abysmal.
Yeah.
I still like Jackson a lot. I know finishing, apart from finishing, he's doing excellent on the pitch. Sterling is not finishing at all. I don't see only him in the game. It's that bad. Palmer is not finishing well. He's again back to some bad form after having amazing form. I think a month and a half, I think he's performing okay from his standards.
Yeah, by his
which
lofty
he had-
standards, yes.
which he had showed before.
Yeah.
Yes, Enzo Caicedo is doing very well right now. The number of the amazing. I think he's one of the best players right now. Him and our best player. I think I would have never said this in my life. We have a better right back than Reece James in the
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
Actually, Malo Gusto's
Thank
been...
God the Reece James era is over.
Yeah.
No, he'll come back
come
for
back.
three
He'll come back.
games.
Still, I think still
He'll play
world-
3 games and then he'll go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still the best. I think when he's in his fittest, I think he's still the best right back in the world, without a doubt. But
Okay.
injuries,
No, I think
No
he's
doubt.
better than Trent though.
he's
Yeah, I
better
mean,
than Trent.
defensively,
Overall,
yes.
he's a better right
Overall,
back.
he's
yes.
a better player. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I think when Reece James does come back, I would like to see him as RCB and then right wing Gusto. Both have to play. It cannot be one of them because I don't know how did we even cop this guy. I was not expecting him to be this good, better than any player in the team right now.
Yeah, he's definitely proved a lot of people wrong. Like, we got him from Lyon, I think, and we
Yes.
sent him back on loan. And at a time where we did not have because Aspilicueta had moved into the center. We didn't have because Reece James was injured as well. But Yeah, I'm the same as you. I didn't expect him to turn up the way he has right now. And he was definitely one of our best players over the last 2-3 games, in fact, not just this one.
So yeah, basically my point being Poch should see the season through.
I was just going to ask you that.
So Poch should see the season through. I could see the chances coming. We're not able to finish it. It's not Poch's fault. Players are underconfident. They are in a lot of pressure. The point I made last time, the youngest team, I think we have one of the youngest team in the Premier League right now. So that comes with a price. Just don't judge a player by the price. Like, okay, 100 million, but see his age. It takes time to be mature. You have to be like 23, 24, 25 to be that mature. Everyone, even the price tag, they are 20, 21. So obviously that comes into play. And we have one of the most impatient fans, and they're not able to realize that. And the fans are creating a pressure, I think, to the board as well. Why Poch should be out, but.
What did you make of that though? Like we saw those chants,
whatever,
like the abusing and the hurling to Poch, and they were like, "We want Mourinho back."
Yeah, they were chanting for
Jose. I think that was really disrespectful.
Yeah, and that's stupid because I think Chelsea has everything they need to turn it around.
They should be backing Poch under all costs.
You've been at the away end, like with
yes,
away fans,
I have,
and basically there's this thing that the most passionate fans in like a fan base are the away fans.
Yeah,
the
but
fans
it's a different
that travel.
experience. Yeah.
And then when you're a manager, and then when you hear stuff like this from your own fans, it
was on his birthday, no less. It was his birthday that day. It was his birthday.
Yeah, and it's very surprising because away fans are the ones who are the most I would say the most sensible ones, because they have been through thick and thin.
Yeah,
they are the ones who are there every game.
They rally you basically.
Yes, it was not going to go well. Pochettino was Spurs' manager, so that plays in the mind with you're saying the away fans as well. That does play in the mind. He was there. He has not won anything over there, but you have got to understand the process. I think we both are in the same boat, and
he needs to get time, because that's the thing as well with Chelsea. When I say, who do you replace him with? Like who's available?
Not even a single player is his signing. Poch has not even signed a single player.
But that is also your structure, basically how the structure is. And because that's why I come to the fact, like when managers, like we are forgetting that Barcelona are looking for a manager, Bayern are looking for a manager, Liverpool are looking for a manager, right? Who's available right now to cover all these four sides, right? So might as well going back to zero, starting again. You just persevere with who you have, and then you take the project ahead. And I think it was a horrible reaction to hear.
But I appreciate Poch's comments on that. Like he was like, I understand fans.
He's being very understanding about this.
Yeah, we've been 11th. The position is 11th on the table, and it's right for them to say that. It's okay. I can understand, but we will turn this around. I like what he does in the pressers.
Yeah, but certainly no Chelsea managers like come back from this kind of hatred from the fans. Like this, it seems like it's starting to feel like this. It's like his last he's on his last legs sort of. Because
and we are looking for a replacement already. I think he'll see the season through, and I think you were going to ask something.
Yeah, I was going to because.
So wait, technically, if both Ten Hag and Poch are gone, season and towards the end of the season, who wins the bet? Whoever sacked earlier.
Yeah.
Who gets the sack earlier? I think Ten Hag gets the sack early because Poch is going to see the season. But if the season
is done, and if both go towards the end of the season,
who gets the sack? My bet was that Ten Hag will go away first, then Pochettino. And even Pochettino was at that point of view, we had lost one of the most important games, that too such brutally. Then at that point also I said Ten Hag will get sacked first, then Pochettino.
That we'll have to see. But
currently the odds are with me. Because Poch is going to see the season through, because the directors have already informed whatever appointment we will be making we cannot make the same mistake going for an interim manager.
Even for us, same. We can't put who are you going to put in as the interim manager with that much? Yes. I think Ten Hag will see the season out.
Both I think might see the season through, but I really hope Poch stays for another season. But if he gets sacked, I think it has to be deserving.
But then I don't think we are in the same boat. Just to interrupt you, sorry. I mean, being in the same boat, I don't think that is the case, because Chelsea, it's much easier for you to get a new manager and get a new system in, because you have what it takes to turn it around. For us, the recruitment is only not there. So any other manager, let's say Pep in place of Ten Hag, without any other player coming in, they're not going to do anything with this team, because the team is the problem. Chelsea, I don't know what is the problem exactly, but I don't think Poch going will affect you that much.
Yeah, agreed. 100% agreed.
Yeah, I agree with that as
In
well.
fact, Poch going, the appointment is very important. Who will be?
Yeah.
who
He
will
comes
be
in into a much better structure
Yeah.
than what.
So what?
Yeah.
So what is happening right now is the profile of players we have is not suited for vertical football. He's
Correct.
leaving a lot of space for players to run. Enzo is someone like Fabregas. Like he is creative, he can go to but he has to run a lot. He has to the spaces are so much in the center,
Same, yeah.
which was not the profile is not being suited. And Pochettino is also that this is the first game he introduced, back three in the system, because the players were tired. That is why he had to go back to that. And he should stick to that, in my opinion. But coming back to the profile we have, clearly suits De Zerbi. And I think if I don't want Poch to go, but if he goes, De Zerbi I think he has a 13 million release clause. It's not easy. But Amorim has a 30 million release clause. I would not get
With FFP, how are you going to pay such big amount?
Yeah,
money?
I think De Zerbi makes sense because first of all, PL proven. He knows the PL better. Secondly, he's played with the players. Sanchez, your Colville, your Caicedo.
we picked up
Half
like
of the squad.
Yeah.
And
He
he's
knows
worked with the
directors
director.
well.
Reunion.
I was just going to go that. He knows Sanchez will not be the first choice. That is one big point.
New keeper.
So it suits De Zerbi. I think and I'll be happy if De Zerbi comes because I like him a lot.
I mean, how much do you want to pay Brighton? How much more do you want to pay Brighton?
I said my first point, as much as I hate to pay that release clause, but if we hire someone, it should be De Zerbi. There's a split by the Chelsea fans. They don't want anyone from Brighton, however good he is. Brighton के पास जाओ मत please. हमेशा भीख मांगने चले जाते.
Just quickly, final thoughts. Do you think Poch goes at the end of the season or no? Quickly, just
I think he does. I think he does because of the amount of hatred that he's got now.
Yeah.
Not hatred, I mean the strong comments that have been coming towards him. No manager can just outlast that. I mean, it's going to be too bad till the end of the season if this is what continues every game week.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the results. Like, I'll be diplomatic.
Yeah, that true. Very
it
true.
depends. See, because Chelsea normally act like that, right?
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, if you have a barrage of losses, this would have been a big loss if they would have lost to Brentford.
Yeah.
But I think if he goes on a run, which Chelsea could go, depending on how they are, I could see them parting ways with Poch. It wouldn't be the right decision for me, but yes.
Yeah,
I think if he finishes 6th or 7th, I think that is still difficult to reach. And if he reaches the FA Cup final, he stays. Or even if he wins it, wins the FA Cup,
think
If he wins it, fair dues. Like he has to stay there.
he has to stay.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah, if he gets a trophy, I think he stays. I think even if he gets to a final, he stays. Anyway, we do have a title race to focus on. So I'll move it along to Nottingham Forest and Liverpool. And Liverpool really left it really, really late, didn't they? Because I think...
For the referees to, for the VAR to...
Yeah.
Okay,
Get
let's get
them to
into
win.
that. Straight away, DV, you think that goal should not have stood?
Of course, it shouldn't have stood. Like, I mean, how many times have we gone through how Liverpool are favoured in terms of VAR and referees and everything? But, I mean, they also have had bad decisions against them. But those bad decisions and the decisions favouring them are like two different things to discuss about. I mean, if one is 30, the second one is 70. They've always been favoured. So I pretty much think that should have ended in a draw. And they've always been favoured, which is my point.
You were quite vocal on the group as well, like during and after the game, about decisions favouring Liverpool. You also wanted to talk about a potential penalty for Forest. That was in the same kind of stoppage where I think Konate was the one who had the head injury.
Yeah.
You think they should have had a pen?
I think, like I said, right, if it's role reversal, that's been given to Liverpool because there's a big pull. I think Gomez pulls one of the Forest players down, right?
It was very evident. Very
it was
evident.
very, very evident. And then secondly, also there was the drop ball thing that happened with Konate's head or whatever, something like that happened as well. And then thirdly, it's like play on until Liverpool score. Like the clock was, I think, 1.5 minutes done, something like that. But where credit is to be given, I will give it with just one player, is Darwin Núñez. I think it's you persevere with a player who has not had a good first season, but like you say with Jackson, right? He's doing everything. He's always giving that effort. He's always there. Maybe he's not getting his finishes right, but maybe that time will come because it was his first season. It's his first season.
Still not doing bad. I think 8 goals and 6 assists something. Not bad.
Persevering with Núñez, like, because he had a lot of criticism last season. Same with Højlund as well, starting a lot of criticism, getting used to the league now. So yeah, the header was a really, really good header in the end, but I think the referee should have blowed way before that move and it should have been a draw. They didn't deserve the 3 points.
I agree with that completely.
I don't
know why Liverpool is such a darling when it comes to such things. Like even the press is being easy on them. They love Klopp. They made a movie out of him winning the Mickey Mouse Cup.
Yeah, like it's for Mickey us when we won it last season, it was like
now that we've lost, it's Mickey Mouse.
when we won it last season, it was just a Mickey Mouse Cup or what, and now this is like a big thing, like the chest bumps, and it's a big
like a farewell gift.
Farewell, yeah,
it is his farewell tour after all. But what did you make of Liverpool's performance in general? Just how they approached the game, because even they had 120 minutes on the previous weekend. Then they played midweek, and then they went to Forest. So what do you like? These are the kind of results I guess you need to win a title.
That has always been the speciality of Klopp, where he's able to get more from his players, right? And then whether it's people coming in from the youth academy or whether it's his existing players, they just play like they're always on cocaine, right? So I don't know how he gets them to do it, but that always happens. They were not very good, I felt. Also in the Carabao Cup final, I think they were very lucky.
Very lucky.
I think Chelsea should have
Chelsea were very unlucky.
Chelsea are not unlucky. They are just not. They can't just finish. That's the thing. Because we've seen Chelsea not finish chances. So I felt that in that way, Chelsea another side would have swept past that Liverpool team that they put on the day in the final. Even against Nottingham, I think I kept having this talk with you. I think Liverpool are very lucky. They are a team that luck favors a lot, and I'm not saying it's their fault or anything like that. Maybe they have that. Maybe they are going to win the title. You don't know, right? Because there is this point in the season where you think that luck is favoring you, and luck favors teams that are eventually going to win. I'm not saying they're going to win the title. I don't think they are going to. But there is that occasional thing where teams don't score. Like Elanga had a chance. He was clean through, and then he doesn't score that. And Forest had their chances. Liverpool were not very good in that game. And I don't think they deserve to win the game, but they did.
But then the character comes into the picture. Like he said, the players are ready to give their all for the manager. He's made it that way. The atmosphere in the club is that way, that the players are always ready.
You see any other club after 90 minutes not winning the game or drawing the game, they heads down. But when it comes to Liverpool, they are able to pull it off with 9 men, 10 men. I don't know how.
That's true actually. Earlier in the season, they had they defended like a 1-1 with Spurs till the 90, till the last minute basically.
Till the last minute.
And they came back against Newcastle with 10 men.
Exactly.
So Newcastle was 9 men? Or
Come 10? Back
no,
10
Newcastle was 10 men. Spurs game was 9 men. They held on and they conceded a last minute own goal.
Yeah, it should have been 9 men against Newcastle, but it was 10.
Yes, I remember.
Okay, let's not forget that this is not a 2-horse race, it's a 3-horse race.
Yeah.
And
it is a 2-horse race.
Okay. Arsenal have been sweeping everyone under the rug at this point. They've won their Premier League games this year by an aggregate of 37-3.
I think the opposition
Let's-
should
yeah.
watch a game where they played midweek Champions League and how FC Porto combated this team and defeated them as well. Why do they not learn? I don't know. How
Yeah.
are they getting defeated?
How worried
Five.
are you though
Huh?
how worried are you about
I'm not
Arsenal?
worried at all. I think I'm the most confident when it comes to Arsenal not even getting into the title race after 31-32 games. Khatam, finish. It's the same story last year. We were like everyone was confident. They are like very much confident it'll be Arsenal's title. Now that they are third and people are talking, even I know the point difference is just 2 points, and they are winning games like 5-0 and 6-0. Arsenal being Arsenal, Arteta being Arteta, as I told Shan last time as well, they are not going to win it. Not win it. It's a two horse race. That's what I'm saying. They'll be third only. I wish Spurs or Villa performed better. They would have been fourth.
No, but then it's pretty different to last season. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going to stop you there because
So my thinking is very different. As I said to you, it is not from a technical point of view. It is from Arsenal being Arsenal and Arteta being Arteta.
Agreed.
Just that.
But even for that, last season when all of us thought that they're going to bottle it, and we were praying that they're going to bottle it because the fans are very annoying. One, and so nobody after bottling the last season, I did not think that they're going to be in the title race this season, but they are, and it's really good to see them perform like this because Arteta has a system in place.
That is there.
You can't just discount that they're going to be in the title race at least till the last 3-4 game weeks. And I think they might as well
Nice.
take run away with it because the other two, I hope, do not win.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
the point.
For
It is
us,
coming
it's-
from that
Yeah,
point of
first-
view. Yeah.
No, but I also feel that
Yeah,
quickly
Shan's
just to
been-
wrap up my this, I think there's a lot different with this team coming from where they were last season. Like I've kept saying, they have more options now. Like you have Havertz also firing in these games where
Finally.
you have to get by. Playing well as well. And then I think the inclusion of Declan Rice has been really, really crucial for them. I think offensively progressing play, also sweeping up play, I think that has been very crucial for them. The one thing where I feel changes Arsenal a bit is when they play City now. Because the change I saw in Arsenal was, I think when they played at the Emirates, a normal Arsenal team would not have, beaten City. But the way Arsenal performed in that game was really, 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 really good. So I think maybe there is a change in momentum, and if for me, and City are not looking that good as well, right? They brushed past Bournemouth in their last game. They were not very good at home to Brentford, right? Just a 1-0 win. So I can see Arsenal going to the Etihad and getting something from there. I can see that.
That could be, but it depends. City's next.
Because I think Arsenal are not going to crumble like they did against the
Correct.
last season against the smaller teams. I think they have enough
yes,
to
that is
crush every smaller
Yeah.
team. And last season they crumbled against the smaller teams.
Yeah.
Otherwise they would have taken City till the end. This season I think against the smaller teams they are beating every small team. Now the difference only lies whether, and if they can go to the Etihad and even get a draw over there. I think the next 3 game weeks where City are playing Liverpool, then they're playing Arsenal, is going to be, you're going to get a lot of
to
answers.
play Chelsea as well, so I don't see
Arsenal,
them
yeah.
winning against us.
They're going to get a lot of. It's at the Emirates. It's at the
It's
Emirates.
at the Emirates,
I
yeah.
think,
The way they bashed West Ham, I don't think y'all are going to do anything
at the
better.
Emirates, they are sweeping past you. If it was Stamford, I would still give you all a chance, but
Honestly, it depends on which Chelsea side shows up, because on some days
I think
we go
But I
toe-to-toe with
think-
City.
I will rival you on that, and I think it's a 2-horse race, but it's a 2-horse race between Arsenal and City.
And City, yeah, I agree.
I
You
think
think
Liverpool
Liverpool's
will
gonna
drop
drop
off.
oh no.
You think
You know
Liverpool's
why
gonna
Liverpool
drop off?
will drop off? Because Liverpool are going to go towards the... I hope they don't in the FA Cup because they are playing us. But I think they're going to go pretty far in the Europa League. And I think that will affect them a little bit.
Yeah, and the point that you said about City, I feel like that's much stronger for me with Liverpool. I mean, they are just getting results right now. I mean, I don't think that's going to last for too long. They might as well drop off before these two teams.
Yeah.
they're playing on steroids right now. I think
Yeah,
it
and
will-
I
it
know
will
they have
run
players
out.
and all to come back, but I somehow feel that there is a little bit of a vulnerability in Liverpool and in City a little bit. And maybe in 2 weeks we'll be looking like fools when Arsenal lose to both of them. But I still feel there's something different in this team.
If Arsenal lose the Champions League, like if they're knocked out, I think there's a good shout Arsenal.
I think they'll sweep Porto, but I still think they'll be there because I think they have the
quality, yeah, no doubt,
to be there in the race.
Yeah. Finally, you're going to stick with Arsenal for your title prediction?
I am not saying Arsenal are going to win. I never said Arsenal are going to win the title. I said that the closest team to challenge City would be Arsenal. Like
now I'm asking you who is going to win.
Who is going to win the title? Considering how refereeing is going, I am worried. If I am an Arsenal and a Liverpool, I said it on the group. If I am an Arsenal and I am a Liverpool fan, I'm worried right now, right? Not much. Liverpool also, I would be slightly worried. Arsenal, I would be worried the most. But considering how the refereeing is going, I think it favors Pep. I hope City don't win. I hope Liverpool don't win. I am backing Arsenal obviously because I don't want to see 4 in a row. And I also don't want to see Liverpool
20.
get to 20.
Yep.
It's the worst situation a United fan could be at.
What situation, being a Chelsea fan, would be acceptable according to you? Not even one of them, the top 3, but who according to you?
I mean, I honestly don't care too much who wins, but I do think City are going to win this.
Yeah. Same with me. I think City is going to win it, but what would make it less hurting or it's City only, you feel? Pool and Arsenal, I still feel shouldn't win it. City is still fine. Very annoying set of fans.
What do you think?
What do you think? Yeah.
So I'm going to go with my gut. I think Arsenal are going to win it. One, because I'm biased. I don't want the other 2 teams to win it. But then, in hindsight, I think City winning it will finally be the nail in the coffin for us. Because somebody doing it for 4 times.
Yeah, no
we need to finally wake up and realize that this is not what our club should be doing right now. Like Liverpool winning it for the 28th time, of course, it's going to hurt a lot, but I don't think that's going to happen. With City, it's a more realistic scenario where they can win, and I think Arsenal should, but City can win. And if they win, this is it for us. Like we need to just pull up our socks and then do what we need to do now, and we can't just be getting thrashed like that by our neighbors.
I think just to my last point is that I think this Liverpool team compared to the Arsenal team and the City team, I think are a little bit inexperienced, right? Because the whole midfield is new, right? You have a lot of new players coming in with a lot of their leaders leaving, right? With Arsenal, they've been there last season, so they've seen it. They've experienced a title race, right?
Yeah.
A lot of those players that were in Liverpool's last title race are not here currently. A lot of players are not there. So I think Arsenal have a better idea of how to deal with a situation like that. I feel as of now, I feel Liverpool will drop off. And if I see Arsenal going to the Etihad and winning, then I'm saying Arsenal are winning the title. That I can say that.
Regarding Pool, agreed, experience is not there, but Klopp retiring at the end of the season is playing a huge role here. The players are going all out for him. The fans are going all out for him, and we can see it in the games as well. Yeah. Even with such inexperience, the players, I don't know how they're turning up. Play names you haven't heard of.
Yeah.
And then obviously the VAR backing and everything which is going outside of a football pitch. I think City wins the title with Pool very close and Arsenal third.
Anyway, we'd be here all day and all night debating this if we could. But we have to end the show. Obviously, this month is very important for the Premier League because City go to Anfield and then Arsenal visit the Etihad. And we'll be here to, give our own thoughts about what happens in those games. Do like, share and subscribe. Let us know who you think is going to win the title. And also let us know if Ten Hag will be sacked before Pochettino or not.
Who's going to get sacked first?
Yeah. The sack race. That's the real race we're interested in here.
That's the real race. Title race is secondary.
Anyway, that's it from us. Thanks.